Right on. We are on, guys. Thank you so much for coming to episode number 2 of the EazyDpodcast. With me today, I have Coach Enrique Ruiz from the Imperial Valley Centinelas, working on his second year of this football team. And we got a couple of players here. I know one is new and one is a veteran, 1 year veteran under his belt. First, we're going to start right here with my gentleman over here. Go ahead, Blake, introduce yourself.
What's up? I'm Blake Krigbaum, running back for the Sentinels and a linebacker. All right.
My name is Daneil Bejarano. I'm a Centinela football player.
What position do you play?
I'm a corner.
Cornerback. All right, get down. And last but not least, Coach Ruiz.
How you doing, guys? I'm Enrique Ruiz, second year here with Centinelas.
Coach, couple questions I wanted to ask you. This is your second year, okay? And so far, how's it been going, getting this team together?
Well, it's been a working project. Not only is it our second year, or my second year, but it's everybody's second year, with the exception of the new guys. I decided to start this team off after, well, I guess I'll start from the beginning, right?
Go for it.
I've been here in the Valley 10 years now, and when I first got to the Valley, I started by coaching in Mexicali.
Right.
I started as an assistant coach for UABC Cimarrones in 2013.
And they're based out of where?
They're in Mexicali, University of Baja California, Mexicali. Started there in 2013 as an assistant lineman coach, and the following year, I got the head coaching job after they cleaned staff.
Okay.
I was there from 2014 till 2020.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That was a working project as well.
Yeah.
I got when I got to UABC, they had only won one game in 3 years.
Oh wow.
So my first 2 years, we went 0-16. We lost every single game by like 40, 60, 70 points.
And how many guys were on your roster at that point?
So I cleaned house as well. My first year, I started the season with about 20.
Okay.
Finished with about 15.
Okay.
Second year got worse. Second year, we actually forfeited the last 2 games of the season because I didn't have enough players. We then took a year off. The university wanted to close the program down, and I managed to convince them to give us a year to recuperate. We dropped down a division before we played in a national league. Then we joined a regional league, which is LIJUFA. It's a state league where all the universities and clubs from Mexicali, Tijuana, and Ensenada play. And when we joined that league was, I guess you could say, to our level, our talent level. And first 2 years we were semifinal in the championship game in our third year.
Right on.
And in 2020, we had a lot of issues with our team, and a team divided and ended up going to another team.
Yeah.
And I was left over with about 15 guys, and that was a rough year as well. We lost every game by about 70, 80 points in 2020. Luckily, the pandemic started, and I mean, I don't mean luckily, right? But as far as to us, when the pandemic started, they canceled the season, so we didn't get killed the rest of the year. Yeah. And I resigned after that. I was done. I'd been coaching there 8 years at the time. I was tired of crossing every day. I was tired of spending a lot of money towards the program because, unfortunately, the university doesn't help you out over there. So I had resigned and called it quits, and I had one of my former players from Imperial, Isaac Cervantes. Shout out to Isaac.
Yeah, shout out to Isaac.
He came up with the idea. He was like, "Damn, coach, it's too bad that you're closing down or you're quitting. I wish there was a team in the Valley." He goes, "Why don't you start a team in the Valley?"
Yeah.
And shoot, I was like, "Damn it, why didn't I think of that 8 years ago?" So,
right.
And that's how the idea of this team came up, was through a former player. This was in July of 2020 when that idea came out.
Yeah.
And I thought about it, and then I asked my wife if I could come back to coach, get out of retire. I was retired for 3 months.
Oh wow.
And she was like, "What the fuck?" Yeah. And she's like, "Where are you gonna coach now?" I was like, "Well, here in the Valley." She's like, "Okay, if it's in the Valley, then go for it.
So prior from you coming to the Valley, where did you originally come from?
Well, I'm born and raised in El Monte. That's out in the East LA, San Gabriel Valley area.
Yeah.
I left my parents' house back in 2001.
Okay.
So as soon as I graduated, I was pretty much gone. Traveled around. I was with the U.S. Forest Service for many years. Got into solar work, and that's how I came here to the Valley years later. And yeah, I've been here 10 years.
Oh, wow. Is your wife here from the Valley as well?
My wife is from Puerto Vallarta, Jalisco.
Oh, wow.
So shout out to Jalisco.
So how do
She's
you
real
end up here in the Valley if, because like usually like somebody has roots here and when they come to the Valley, because they'll move away, but they always come back. So what brought you here?
Well, it was work. I came for work.
It was just the work? Okay.
It's cheap here.
Yeah.
I like the small town. I love LA. I love San Diego.
Yeah.
But I don't miss it, man. Like I said, I took my kids to Disneyland last week, man. That traffic.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Yeah, no, a small community. It's nice when you're raising a family. Small, the Valley is small. It has its benefits. It has its drawbacks and everything. As far as like exposure for kids, for guys playing sports, girls playing sports, the exposure just isn't here because we're so small. You know what I mean? But as far as like raising a family here in the Imperial Valley, I think it's great. I lived in San Diego. I was born in San Diego, but I've been raised out here. I've moved out of the Valley, but I always come back, and I said, you know what? We go back to the Valley, this is where I'm going to raise my family, because my roots are here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you know what? Not only is just raising kids here and housing's pretty cheap here compared to like the bigger cities, but honestly, I love Mexicali and its commodities. It's cheap to go have dinner, take the kids out.
Yeah.
And we have so much. We're traveling so much to Jalisco, or we have family coming from other parts of Mexico that it's just easy to get easy access to the airport.
Yeah.
It's been great here, so I can't complain. I talk a lot of crap about the Valley, but I love it.
It's still home. Yeah. But we can do that because it's home. And it's funny because Mexicali has come a long way in the past 10 years. Like now you got Nuevo Mexicali, right? And everything's so modernized and everything. It's like amazing. And it's just like anywhere else. You go to a big city, you got your parts of the city that not as modern as other parts. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Mexicali. You know what I mean? And in Mexicali, got nice places to go and eat. In the wintertime, it's like I don't mind going over there because the weather's so much nicer. Don't mind making that line if you don't have Sentry. You know what I mean? It's summertime. It's rough. It's rough, but like you said, you can go out and enjoy a good dinner and not pay the high prices like you do on this side of the border.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Mexicali has come a long way. And I was kind of shocked to see like their athletic programs over there as far as football goes. You know what I mean? Because I didn't think football was such a big thing in Mexicali. And kind of like once I met you and we started talking more about the leagues over there, I was shocked. I was like, well, wow, there's some good players down here, and they're really into it, So you starting this league, I was real like happy that you did that. You know what I'm saying? Got to be honest, not that I had my doubts, but I had questions. Is this
like everybody else?
Yeah, I had questions, and you remember our first meeting, and I kind of put you guys on the spot because I was kind of speaking up for these guys right here, and no, you proved yourself. You got the team going. It was a legit league. It still is a legit league. The games were legit. I mean, it was fun, man. It was a good experience, And so tell me, once you started, you got a team together. How many guys did you start out with?
Well, so I guess we could fast forward to 2020 when the idea came up.
Yeah.
And the first thing that I wanted to do was get myself out there. And everything's through social media nowadays. So I started through Facebook. I created a team page. And I just started putting flyers out there, join us, Imperial Valley Football, new league, college team.
So let me ask you this. On that, what kind of response did you get when you started putting it out there?
It was a shock. Well, I guess it was a big surprise and a lot of confusion. In the beginning. I had well, first of all, I named the team Imperial Valley Collegiate Football, or I named the club. And I didn't know what our mascot was going to be at the time.
Yeah.
So I started off with Imperial Valley Collegiate Football, which is still our name officially. And I had the first logo was very, very similar to IVC's logo. And I did that for a specific reason to generate attention and get people excited and get people to ask questions.
That's how you got me.
Yeah. So and I had a lot of people hit me up saying, "Oh, IVC starting a team, IVC," and I was like, and right in the beginning, I shut that down. I was like, "No, we're not IVC. I'm not part of IVC." So that right there, it got a lot of attention, but it also kind of withdrew a lot of that attention as well.
Yeah, because it was kind of like people got their hopes up, and then it was kind of like, you know what I mean? Exactly. I get it. Yeah, I get it.
So it went from that, and I did get, like I said, I got a lot of response. I got a lot of questions. I got a lot of feedback, likes on the page. And then once I started seeing, like, this is possible, my next step was I went to Max Preps, and I went back to about 4 years of rosters from every team in the Valley. And I just started sending direct messages to former players. Man, I shit you not, I must have sent at least 500 messages.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I sent so many messages that I think Facebook blocked me for like a day, thinking I was a bot, right? And or they would get upset because I would copy paste and send the message, copy paste, and then after a while they're like, it wouldn't let me copy paste, so I had to like change a period or an exclamation point so it could seem like a new message.
Yeah.
And resend it out there. So that was around August when I started seeing that I was getting movement. October came around and I started getting actual players. I think out of like 400 players that I sent out, I think 60, 70 responded. So out of those 60, 70, I was like, all right, this could happen.
Yeah, it can happen for sure.
So I set up a meeting. I believe it was right after Thanksgiving. I think that was the first team meeting. And we only had, like 15 guys show up.
And this was in...
This was 2021. No, 2020.
2020,
This was still 2020.
Yeah, because everything was shut down in Mexicali that year.
That's probably what didn't help either.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, so this was 2020. This is November, Thanksgiving 2020, our first team meeting, and we had about 15 guys show up.
Yeah.
And then we had about another 10 guys that said they couldn't make it because of work or whatever reasons. But that's how we started, and we went with that, just to get it out there, just to put a face to the page, I guess, so people could say that I was a real person.
Yeah.
Once that went, we scheduled a second meeting for after the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So that was 2021, January 2021.
Yeah.
And I think we had 18 guys at that meeting, and another 10, 15 that couldn't make it for whatever reason. So right then and there, I told the guys, I was like, hey guys, so this is what it's looked like. I'm on numbers, guys. There was 20 players there, and I asked every single one of them. I was like, all I need is 18. We need a minimum of 18 players.
Yeah.
And before we move on, I told everybody, will you play if we have 18? Do you want to play if there's only 18? And everybody said yes. So then I started scheduling practices for that following spring, after spring break for April.
Yeah, I remember. It was like 18 guys right there, and I remember I told you, Coach, it's going to be rough, man. It's going to be rough. I mean, because we had skill position players. I remember that, but it was our linemen.
Yeah, it still is.
And it still is, yeah. And so far this year on your recruiting side, how has it been?
Well, it's been better because the guys forced me to make an Instagram. So I'm not going to lie, but that actually did help. So now that we had Instagram, we got more content out there.
Okay.
Again, you know what? We're doing something that's never been done.
Yeah.
We're creating a college football team without a college, without the support of a college. But we're still a college team, right? We're playing the college league. But because we don't have that support, it's still hard getting players to play.
Right.
Or to come out. And then the other thing is, the games are still in Mexicali. They're still in a different country, even though it's, a mile away or whatnot. So it hasn't been difficult to recruit. I guess it hasn't been difficult to get the word out there. It's just difficult to convince them.
Right.
And then the other hard part is these guys are paying out of pocket.
Yeah.
You know, which we're not used to in the U.S. We're not used to paying out of pocket.
Right.
You know, we get everything from the schools. Here, unfortunately, we're working on getting sponsors, but that's difficult too.
Yeah.
Because again, you're doing something that's never been done.
Right.
So that being said, I guess it's good. We recruited 12 new guys. Out of those 12, we only have 10. You know, for whatever reason, 2 or 3 guys can't make it or flaked out, change of heart. But the fact that we got 10 completely new guys from last year, that says something, you know.
So what are your numbers right now, and what do you got on roster right now?
We have 24 guys on roster, 25.
And last year you finished out with how many?
Last year we finished with 14.
14 guys. So you almost doubled.
So we almost doubled. You know what? Here's what I tell the kids is that, you know, we started with 18, right? We registered 18 guys, but in reality, there was only 17 because that's from game one. One of them had already quit.
Yeah.
You know, 2-3 weeks later, we had 2 guys quit.
Yeah.
So that put us to 15. And then we had injuries. You know, we had 3-4 guys injured, and we finished the season with 12-14 guys.
Yeah.
So in reality, the fact that we gained 10, let's look into the future in 2023. Let's say we registered 25 this year. Out of those 25, let's say 4 don't come back. They get a job. They get married. They have a kid. They don't want to play no more. They got it out of their system.
Right.
That leaves us with a base of 20 guys next year. If we could get 10 new guys every year, eventually we're going to be 40 every year. 50. You know, it's just getting that base going. And even though we want to make it happen sooner, this is still our second season. So 25 guys is not bad.
Yeah.
Considering this didn't exist 2 years ago.
Yeah. Now that you're going on your second year, in your opinion, what are the benefits as far as somebody who wants to continue to play? Like, you know, would you say that this is a good alternative?
Well, it just depends what your goal is.
Because you did say something right now that I caught on when you said they got it out of their system. You know, because I take it as like you get guys who, for whatever reason, can't go to college to go play football. You know, because we got IVC here, they can easily go to school here, but there's not always a guarantee if you go to a college somewhere that you're gonna get the playing time. You know what I'm saying? So I look at this as kind of a good alternative. You could still go to school and you could still, you know, play football and, you know, and get that out of your system, you know. With that being said, what's the age limit? What's our cutoff to play in this league?
So it's think of it as Pop Warner but with adults. So every year it drops down one age. So the age limit is 18 to 24. And the reason it's 24 is because in Mexico, you could play college football up into your master's degree. So you could play your 4 years of your bachelor's and then your 2 years of your master's.
I got you.
So you could play college football in Mexico for 6 years. So every year, this year, the graduating class is 1997. So if you were born in 97, this is your senior year.
Okay.
And then the freshmen coming out of high school, they're born in 2002, I believe. So we could still get players from 2003 if they're 17 and graduated. There's no problem there. So that's the age limit.
Okay.
What's the benefit? I'll tell you what. Let's ask these guys first. Why are they doing it?
All right. Let's switch the attention over to these guys right here. Okay. So let's start with Blake. Blake, how did you hear about the league?
He texted me on Facebook, actually. He asked me to join, and I was iffy about it, and then I decided not to play the first year. Okay. And then I seen he was successful with it, and I was like, you know what? Yeah. Let's give it a shot.
Let me back up a little bit. Tell the listeners, where did you play football?
Oh, I played for Brawley Union High School.
All right. Yeah. Wildcats. Right on. Okay.
Best team.
Yeah. Once a Wildcat, always a Wildcat?
Yeah.
Oh, right on. Respect. Okay. So then, so you said coach was texting you, trying to, give you some awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what did you think initially?
At first, the first year when he texted me, I was like,
why didn't you play in 2021?
Be honest.
No, yeah, be honest.
It's all good.
I bet you're not the only one that thought that.
Yeah. No, go. I want you to be honest. I want you to be honest.
I didn't want to go play over there.
Mexicali?
Yeah, I was scared.
Yeah. That seems to be the still the consensus. You know what I'm saying? And that's always been that stigma ever since Pop Warner, you know, it's always been that way. It's like, I don't know, you know, go play over there across the border and stuff. But like you said, it's not really any different from the Pop Warner days, from the Pee Wee leagues and all that.
Did you play, when you played Pop Warner, did you have to go play in Halcones over there?
I don't remember. I think we did play one game though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, like when my boys were coming up through Pop Warner, we always had games over there. And the only reason I didn't like going was just because of the line. But I didn't mind going over there because we were going to go eat, you know what I'm saying, have a good time. Yeah, make a day out of it. And it was all good, you know what I mean? So, so you played for Brawley High School. Did all 4 years?
Yeah.
How many years on varsity?
2.
2 years? All right, get down. And
I was asked my sophomore year, but I declined.
Everybody's asked their sophomore year.
Why is that, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't know. I wanted to experience all 3 levels. I wanted to see freshman, JV.
Yeah.
And that's what I told him, too. I was like, I want to experience JV before I go up there.
Yeah, because it could be a jump.
He didn't like it too much.
Yeah. It could definitely be a jump, you know, going on there. No, that's good. You know what I mean? Self-aware man. Got to respect that, you know. And what do you miss from when you were playing in Brawley? What do you miss about it?
Like Brawley in general?
Yeah, like playing football, you know, for Brawley High School.
I miss running over people.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I remember. I've seen videos on you, kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I could tell you right now, like I told you at practice, I feel bad for the guy who's going to get in front of you, try to tackle you, dude, because I see how you run without pads. You know what I'm saying? So, and I've already seen what they got down there, and they got some tough dudes, but I don't know, man. You know, our numbers might be small, but man, we got some quality players on this team for sure. You know, and so once coach, you know, got you to get your foot in the door, and what was it like when you first went to that first meeting this year, or was it last year?
No, did you go to a meeting?
This
2021, did you go to a meeting?
We had a meeting.
The only meeting was when you weren't there and we talked to Victor.
Okay, so you went to this year's meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was this year's meeting. So what was your thought?
Let me cut you off.
Yeah.
How did you decide to come back or play for us this year?
I missed football.
So you just remembered me and you're like, or did Jesse get a hold of you?
Oh no, Jesse, he texted me like a little while after he texted me the first time.
Okay.
He was like, "Hey, you made me do it and you're not doing it." I was like, "Yeah, like my bad."
And Jesse is
Jesse Martinez, lineman from Brawley.
Lineman from Brawley, and he played for you last year, correct?
He's our left tackle.
All right, yeah. Jesse, when you see this, you need to come back and play, dude. Okay? You need to come back and play. And I know you're going to see this. These guys need you. You need to come back. You got this dude on here. Don't desert him. You brought him on. You gotta do at least one more year, kid.
I deserted him
Yeah.
first.
So, anyways, I had to put Jesse on the spot.
Yeah.
I like Jesse. Jesse's an awesome kid. You know. And then so go on. So Jesse, you know, you went to the meeting.
Yeah.
And what was your impression? What was your impression at first?
When I went this year?
Yeah, when you went to the first meeting, and you kind of, I'm trying to get at like when you start to kind of look around to see who was there.
I mean, the first person who caught my eye was Joey.
Yeah.
Because Joey was one of the top players from Imperial, and I was like, dang, like, if they can get the top players from the Valley, I mean, like, it's
Right.
a dangerous team.
Right.
So I was like, all right, cool, we gotta,
Yeah.
what do you call it? What do you call it when they're like the top?
We got a stud.
Yeah, stud.
We got an all-leaguer.
We got it all,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
So I guess like what I'm trying to get to, because Brawley's always been an awesome football program. Powerhouse. Okay. You know what I'm saying? That rivalry between Central and Brawley goes way back. We all know that. That's kind of like the Super Bowl of the Valley with the Bell game, right?
Yeah.
And but along that way, you're gonna play Calexico, you're gonna play Holtville, you're gonna play Imperial, You play Central, because I think you played Central twice, right? Don't they play twice or no? Or is it just one? I remember when I was in school, it was twice.
Just once.
Just once? Okay. So you play all these teams along the way, you know, and you win some, you lose some, and you know how it is on game day, Smash Mouth football. You know what I'm saying? What was it? How'd you feel when you showed up to the meeting and you looked around and you saw a guy from Holtville, you saw a guy from Central, you saw a guy from Imperial, Calexico? Like, what was your mindset like? You know?
Honestly?
Yeah. What was your mindset?
I was like, wow, dude, like, I probably ran over most of these guys. I was like, they're gonna hate me. Like, it's like I already know it and stuff. And I'm cool with Joey, so I was like, all right, I got one little little chip of the iceberg.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. And now that you guys have gotten together and done some practices and all that, because I kind of see you guys are starting to mesh now.
Yeah, we're starting to connect.
It's starting to connect, and I see it, like, you know, because I've gone to your practices and all that, and I've checked you guys out, and you know, what's the mindset now? You know,
I feel like we're gonna be a good team.
Yeah. Do you feel, in your honest opinion, that there's chemistry there?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, right.
It's just like, we may have been from different like towns, but it's like when you come together, like we're all from the same place. So we're gonna like
so it's like now you got a Valley powerhouse team. Now you got, you know, kind of like you could say the best of the best, so to speak. You know what I mean? From all different parts of the Valley now. You know, and when Joey told me that you were coming on, I was like, oh shit. I remember him. I was like, oh damn. Okay, cool. And I kind of felt the same way. I was like, hey, we got another stud on the team, you know, among studs. You know what I'm saying? And with that said, Daneil Bejarano. Okay, where did you play?
I played in Holtville.
Holtville, all right. From what year to what year did you play?
I played varsity from 2017 to 2018.
Okay, and last year was your first year with Coach Ruiz?
Yes, it was my first year with Coach Ruiz.
And so, in your honest opinion, what was your experience like?
Playing for Coach Ruiz?
Yeah, and playing with Coach and the team, getting a team together and all that. Like, let's start in the beginning. When this team was getting recruited, how did you feel? Did you think this was going to happen, or did you have doubts, or?
I felt like this was going to happen.
You felt like it was going to happen, huh?
I mean, there's so many schools in the Valley that play football. I mean, like, not everyone is going to go play college football. And if you really like this sport, I don't see why you wouldn't come here to play.
Right.
I mean, you know, like, sadly, IBC doesn't have a football team. There's no way to play JUCO here.
Yeah.
So usually, like, kind of after high school, you're just kind of done. You're done playing unless you move away. But, I mean, the fact that Coach Ruiz is here giving us a chance to play the sport that we love again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's maybe in Mexicali, but, you know, Mexicali is not that far away from here.
No.
It's just like our games to Yuma and stuff.
Yeah.
Probably even shorter.
Probably even shorter, yeah. So when we first started, it was only like Coach Ruiz said, like 18 guys, and I was like, oh my god, like, it's a little bit, you know, because we're used to seeing like 50 guys on the sideline just, you know, watching you. And when he told us that, yeah, this might be it, like, most of us are gonna have to play both ways, we're like, hey, like, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
If we go down there and play, though.
Yeah.
Most of us did that in high school too. We played both ways.
Mm-hmm.
I played both ways.
Yeah. You know, so that it wasn't anything new to you guys.
Yeah.
You guys were like, oh, we've done this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what was your, like, before your first game, what kind of preparation did you guys do? You know, did you guys kind of, because now you're adults. You know what I'm saying? You're young men. You know, Coach could only, you know, tell you guys what to do so much, but at the end of the day, it kind of falls on you guys to work out, you know, make sure you guys are staying healthy, and, you know, kind of, you know, the responsibility is on you more than anything else. So what kind of preparation did you guys do for your, like, to get physically ready for the football season? Did you guys do any workouts or anything like that?
So coach would really stress, like, on your off time, watch film or your conditioning.
Yeah.
So if you're not doing anything, just watch film. Watch film. Or if you're just tired or, like, you just don't want to be laying down watching film, go condition, go run a mile, try to beat your time or something. Just go out and be conditioned. Yeah. Because, it was only 18 of us, so, like, just try to be in the best shape you can possibly be.
Yeah, because then you had to rely on your teammate to be in good conditioning because... you like you said, you only got 18 guys.
Yeah.
And if one of you guys goes down, well, that's a big chink in the chain, right? You know what I mean? You lose that link, and you guys are, in a rough spot. You know what I mean? So, how'd you enjoy this year? Like, how would you grade your performance this past year?
My performance, I'd grade it at a B. I feel like I could have done a little more to help the team out.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it was a good year. It was a good year for 18 guys, and at the end we're just 14. I mean, we fought a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just really tough when you look in the sideline and there was no one there.
Yeah.
It was a mental challenge. Like you just look at the sideline, like there's no one but two coaches. So, like it was tough.
Yeah, it was. And then as far as anybody being in the stands, remember they were really strict on the whole COVID rules. Remember, like. In Mexicali, they didn't even allow fans, right? They didn't allow parents and family.
The first 3-4 weeks.
Yeah, you had to watch it from the other side of the fence, which didn't make no sense to me. You're still there. You know what I mean? And so I know everybody has to kind of pull their end on trying to recruit. Have you guys, I take it you guys have been trying to recruit guys and everything. How's that been for you guys?
It's the same thing like what Coach said. It's just the fact to get guys to convince them like, yo, like, let's go play in Mexicali. I think that's just the hump. It really is the hump of this. It's just, can we get guys to go play in Mexico? Yeah. And then that's just the challenge here. Is like, we just have to like, I guess, show them like maybe more of a video or a picture. Get a picture out there of what it really is. Like we're just a couple guys out there playing football. That's all it is. But I think that's the hump, is just trying to convince people to go over there and play football.
Yeah, and see, that's one of the whole reasons I wanted to do this interview with you guys, to kind of help and give some awareness to you guys. Let people know, like, they see a face now. They hear a name, but now they see the face. Now they see that, hey, you know what, Blake took this serious. He's gonna play. Maybe this will help, to help recruit more guys. I mean, just the fact that you guys' numbers have doubled, Coach, I think it's a big positive. Hopefully you guys will get more support. Especially like on the financial side, because that's the other thing I want to ask you, Coach. Give me a breakdown for somebody new coming in, like what it costs.
You know what? I think that's the other reason why we're having problems with recruiting players, is that this costs money. Yeah. Football is a very expensive sport. Yeah. Just the helmet alone, brand new helmet, what would it cost you? Like
that much?
About like $550.
Say $450, so you don't get mad.
That's a nice helmet.
It's expensive. Because I have contacts in Mexicali, I was able to get used gear for a lot cheaper. Like Bejarano's helmet cost them about $120. Yeah. This same helmet used 2 seasons here in the U.S. is double $300 on eBay. Yeah. So luckily we were able to get a lot of cheap used gear, and that kind of helped us out. Yeah. We have a couple players that want to buy their gear brand new because they could afford it. That's awesome. Yeah. But I guess the biggest problem is that you have to pay your own gear. Aside, going back to what the struggle is back to, it's in Mexicali. I think a lot of players and coaches, because we're struggling to get coaches as well, not just players. I think the fact that the league's in Mexicali, I think people kind of look down on it, or don't maybe take it seriously, or don't think it's legit. And what I'd say to those people is this is just as good as any high school league out here. Yeah. This is maybe even better than semi-pro. I tell kids, if you play semi-pro or you're thinking about playing semi-pro, I think this is a lot better. Excuse me. And why? Because from what I've seen here in the Valley, there's been, in my 10 years here, there's been 3 semi-pro teams. 3 or 4, I think. You had the Knights, and I think you had the Lamen, and then the Vipers, and now there's
The Bullies.
Now there's the Bullies, right? So there's been semi-pros team here before, and there's a reason why they don't work. In my opinion, it's because it's semi-pros more expensive because you're playing teams in Yuma, Vegas, San Diego, LA, and you're paying American dollar. You're paying American prices.
Right.
You know, just again, this helmet in Mexico costs $120.
Yeah.
The same helmet in the U.S. costs $350.
Yeah.
This in Mexico, this is $800 brand new in
Easy.
Mexico.
Yeah.
So the fact that this is better than semi-pro is because it's cheaper. Because we're playing in one city. Well, I mean, two cities, because Tijuana and Ensenada, they're only 40 minutes apart. So you think of Ensenada and Tijuana as one city.
Yeah.
So we're only playing in two cities. All of our home games, de facto home games, are in Mexicali.
Yeah.
Which again is 5-minute walk across the border. We have a chartered bus picking us up there. Right? You said earlier you guys played with Yuma in high school, Blythe. That's a 2-hour drive, right?
Yeah.
So we're actually playing, you know, a little bit closer. But that being said, gear is the most expensive thing you pay for, but you keep it. Our uniforms, I think we have the best uniforms in the league.
Oh, they're nice for sure.
Those cost us $150.
Yeah.
Those cost $150, but that's for 2 sets, and you're keeping it as well.
Yeah.
Where here in the U.S., that uniform here in the U.S. by itself, Nike or the other provider without the swoosh, Riddell, that same uniform here in the U.S. is $150 by itself.
By itself, yeah.
And maybe not even include the actual logos, or just, I mean, look at Imperial's uniforms, very nice, clean Jordan brand swoosh. They got no logo on it. You know, if our logos were Tigers, you best believe I had stripes on it.
Yeah.
Right. Same thing at Brawley, clean uniforms, but you can't add that much stuff because it's pricey. Here we got 3 to 4 different logos stitched, name in the back. Yeah. Nice little California flag in the back. So we're getting great uniforms for a cheaper price. Then the other cost is buses, because we need a bus to take us. Because part of my whole recruiting spiel was, you know, safety, right?
Yeah.
I told the guys, yes, the games are in Mexico. Yes, Mexico's dangerous. We're not going to lie, but we're not going to places where danger is happening, right? We're not going to strip clubs. We're not going to clubs. We're not going to the shady part of town. We're going to the football field. Yeah. You know, we're again, when you guys were in Pop Warner, that's what you guys would go play. You know, this one's a little easier, I think, because we meet in Calexico, we walk across as a team, and we already have a bus waiting for us there. That bus picks us up, takes us to the game. After that, takes us to dinner, brings us back. So that's for 5 games, 6 games. Then we have our own bus to take us to the away games in TJ or Ensenada. Then the other is the field rental. You know, we pay for the field, and the field includes the 5 referees. It includes an ambulance, because we have an ambulance, paramedics at every game. And then it includes the chain gang, right? So that's where all our cost goes. It's about, all in all, 7 games, buses, field, league registration,
and film, right?
Film, yeah, that's another thing. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I love film. So I pay for film. So I have Pixel Sports. Shout out to my buddies at Pixel Sports.
Pixel Sports, yeah, they did a good job too.
They not only film our games, but they'll go to TJ or Ensenada to scout our next opponents, and they'll break it down just like they do here in the U.S. That costs quite a bit of money as well. And film, buses, field, and refs, ambulance, all that, it's about $7,000, which is not a lot, because I'm pretty sure
for the team.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure high school football costs more than that, easily. Yeah. So I think that's why a lot of people also didn't think this was possible, because a JUCO program or a high school program, should even Pop Warner, probably cost in the 10s or 15s, 20,000s, right? Right. JUCO's probably like in the 100,000s. So ours is only $7,000, $8,000, depending on how much inflation is down there every year. So we divide that by everybody on the team. And the more players we have, the cheaper it's going to be. Last year, because it was 14 of us, we paid about $300, $400. Yeah. And this year, there's 25 of us, so hopefully it's going to bring the amount quite a bit. Yeah. We're going to hopefully raffle another TV this year, maybe 2. Yeah. To help us out with the Ensenada trip, because that's the biggest expense. Yeah, that's about $1,400 for Ensenada. But all in all, yeah, it's a big chunk of money. But if you divide it by 20, 30, hopefully 40 players one day, hopefully we get some sponsors. We're a nonprofit now as well. I forgot to mention that. I registered with the state of California and the IRS, so we're a nonprofit organization. We could give tax refunds to whoever, any local business that helps us out and donates. So hopefully, as this program grows, gets bigger and grows, the cost will come down to like, $100. Aside uniforms and helmet, and then just maybe $100.
Yeah.
That would be perfect, I think.
I hope so, man. Because I mean, it would really help out this team this year that you get some sponsors, and then for future players, and hopefully this thing keeps growing, man. I think it will. You know what I'm saying? Like I already told you, I got 2 younger ones. When they're of age,
16, 17.
You know what I mean? They'll be there. You know what I mean? And I think, staying active, especially in this sport, is going to help you down the road if you want to go to that next level. Go to JUCO or I know we've talked about the Pro League down there. Tell me a little bit about that, about the Pro League down there.
Let's go back to what you said. What the kids, what benefits the kids for this? Well, first of all, it just, one of my biggest recruiting things, and I'm pretty sure I told both of you guys, was, do you miss playing high school football? If you miss playing high school football, then this is for you.
Yeah,
it's that simple. I miss playing it, so when I had the opportunity to play this in Jalisco, in Guadalajara, in Puerto Vallarta, I jumped at it. So I know what the guys are feeling. I know their questions, because I've been there. I was lucky enough to play football down there after high school. If I would have known that this was even bigger, I wouldn't have even gone to Jalisco. I would have gone to like Mexico City or Monterrey, where like the bigger teams are.
Right.
When I got to play it in Mexico, I was 22. I was aged out already. So he's scratching that. So, but the benefits, first and foremost, is if you miss playing high school football, this is for you.
Yeah.
Hands down. Like if you love football, why not? Why just play 7-on-7? Why just go out there and play catch with your friends, or just go to Turkey Bowl?
Yeah.
Actually, we have a chance to actually play in an actual league with an actual team. If you miss the camaraderie, you miss coaches yelling at you, believe me, you're going to get that with me. I yell quite a bit, right?
For the bowls, though, we're playing for money, though.
Huh?
For the Turkey Bowl and the Christmas Bowl, we play for money. So.
Well, but you know what I'm saying? But why just play it once a year when you could play it a whole season?
Right.
And tell me you're not every week, right? You're looking at the website, who's up, who's the rankings, who scored, right? Like, it's awesome looking at that. The other thing is, again, like you said, if you want to play JUCO, but you can't play JUCO this year, financial reasons, grades, whatever reason, you just can't go to San Diego right now to play JUCO or Palm Desert. This is your next option. The league or the talent is not as good as JUCO league, but it's going to keep you in shape, because you could run sprints and go to the gym all you want, but it's still not, football. It's still not the same.
It's almost a good tool to stay active, stay in the game, keep your head mentally in that mode. If you are prepping yourself to go to that next level, go to JUCO, or hopefully go to a university, big university, D1 or whatnot. For sure. That's kind of how I looked at this as well. You know what I mean? I think there was benefits all the way around.
It'll keep you sharp, And the other thing is, what I tell guys is, they have, like you mentioned earlier, football's big in Mexico now. It's huge.
Yeah.
They have a solid pro league now down there. They have 2 leagues, which eventually they're going to merge into one. But their professional league down there, they're flying to away games. They're playing in Cancun, they're playing in Mexico City, they're playing in Monterrey, they're playing in Tijuana, staying in nice hotels. They got you an apartment set up for you. You got former NFL players playing over there. You got former D1 players starting to go over there. So the sport is growing. And if you're a 20-year-old kid from the Valley, with no major responsibilities or obligations but yourself, why not travel? Why not go play down there? It's an experience that not everybody has, and this would provide you a great opportunity. I seriously see 2 or 3 of our guys at least going to a pro tryout this next fall, because we have the talent to play down there in the pro league. So if you love football and you see yourself playing this for the next 5, 6, 7 years, you could keep playing it. especially in Mexico.
Yeah.
And if your dream is to play JUCO, then at least this will keep you busy while you get to the JUCO and get you, where you want to be. But there's definitely opportunities. But the biggest thing here is you just got to keep your mind open. You have to keep an open mind because we're not a college team, a true college program, and we're not playing in the U.S. So those are our biggest concerns with a lot of the recruiting is that, but they're not a college team. But they play in Mexico. If you just get that out of your mind and just look at it for what it is, this is an actual football club organization, and you're playing in an actual college football league.
Yeah.
Then there's not much to think about it besides the money.
Right.
But there's always ways for that, right? We got raffles, we got sponsors. I mean, honestly, if these kids could just put away $20 a week, they'll save their $400 or $500 for the season.
Yeah.
So it's not like an amount. It's not like $10,000. It's not $5,000 that they're paying out of pocket. They're probably going to pay only $500-$600 at the most. Yeah, and the returners are going to pay even less because they already have their gear and their uniform.
Yeah. So the first initial cost is for a new player. Like our friend Blake over here. Blake. Yeah.
What?
You saving your money?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, because I know Coach has been collecting. Man, I really hope you guys can get more sponsors, or start getting sponsors to help you guys out, because I do want to see this league grow. I know you've been asked this question a couple of times, and I know it probably won't happen this year, but down the road, Coach, do you think, and I think it's a big question on people, who want to come in the future, do you ever see us playing a game over here in the U.S. here in the Valley? Do you think it might happen? Do you think it, you know what I mean?
So,
I know it's a tough question, but
no, it's not a tough question. It's not really our choice or my choice. If it's up to me, we'd play all of our home games here, obviously, right?
Yeah.
I'd love to play at the Calexico field. It's a nice field. I'd love to play out in Brawley, but that'll never happen, right? No, I'd love to play out here. The thing is, unfortunately, because it's a Mexican league, a lot of these players don't have visas.
Okay.
So they can't come play over here.
Yeah.
So, one of the coaches was asking me, "Hey man, if you guys make a championship game, could you make like a big deal out of it and play in the U.S.?" I was like, "Hell yeah, I'd do everything in my power to play over here. I'd even ask for the high school band to blast out whatever fight song they got, right?" But unfortunately, I'll put it to you this way: if you're a coach, you're the coach for one of the Mexicali teams down there. If just one of your starters, if just one of your starters for a playoff game or a championship game can't play in that game because he doesn't have a visa, are you gonna want to come play over here?
Yeah, that's tough. They ain't gonna do it, man.
No, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do it. Like, I'm not only because it's my starter or my stud, but it's not fair to the kid either. Like, why are we gonna deny him a championship game or any game because he doesn't have a visa?
Yeah,
that's not fair for the kid either. What I do see happening, and what I'd probably like to do once we grow, once we have 25, 30 players, I'd like to ask the league if we could maybe do an all-star game over here.
Yeah.
Have an all-star game over here with whoever has a visa, and just make it like a draft night and mix our players with their players, and just have a big tournament or big festivity game over here to end the season after the championship game.
Yeah, that looks like that could be more of a reality.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And especially if the one putting it on won the league championship that year. Or even then you got some pull.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then you got to say so. You know what I mean? I'm sure that's your goal this year.
Of course.
You know what I mean? And with that said, in your honest opinion, with the players that you got right now, and let's be totally honest, how do you see your season going this year? If things are going on track the way they are right now, from what you're seeing, even with the linemen you got, where do you see yourself at the end of the season?
I mean, the goal is the same as last year. We should win a championship. We have to be at least in the championship game.
Yeah.
That doesn't change. That was the goal last year. I told the guys last year, with 18 guys, there's no reason why we can't make a championship game.
Yeah.
And we almost did. You know, the losses that we had were by less than a touchdown.
Yeah.
You know, a couple of bad plays, a holding call here, you know, a fumble there. Like,
some mental mistakes.
We lost games because of mental mistakes. I think the only team that put it on us was Lobos. They whooped our butt straight up. You know, they were better than us. You know, but even then, that game we almost caught up to that game too. If it wasn't for a few crucial plays there as well.
But with that said, how many guys were on their roster?
They had about 30.
And how many guys on that game did you have on your roster?
That was the first game where we had 2 guys quit and we had 2 injuries. So
I think at one point we're down to 12 at one point. For one of the
12 was the last game.
Okay.
The last game of the season we played with 12.
Do we play Lobos this year?
We should. So no, for Lobos, that was a tough game, man. They ran all over us. We couldn't stop them. But again, it's just mental mistakes, guys not playing positions they weren't used to.
Yeah.
We were just coming off we were on a 2-game losing streak right there, so it was a bad week, I think.
Yeah.
So I think we had one of our coaches walk out at halftime. So it was just mentally, it was a tough game for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that was the last game we lost in the season. We went on a 3-game run. I think if we were to win in the first round, we would have played Lobos in the semifinal, and we would have been a little bit better prepared for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So who knows? And if we get hot and we beat Lobos, we're in a championship game with only 14 guys last year.
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, a lot of ifs and buts. You know, I don't want to take anything away from the teams that beat us down there. Carneros beat us twice. You know, so you know, you don't get lucky twice. You know, at the end of the day, they beat us, whether it was mistakes or because they were just better. They beat us twice last year, so we want to get back at that. And this year, again, we have 25 guys. We have a lot of players from Brawley. We have a lot of players from Imperial. There's no reason why we can't run the table and be in a championship game last year. So that's the goal.
On those 25 guys that you got off the top of your head, this way, I want you to give me some names. This way, people who watch this and they hear those names, they'll be like, oh, I know that kid. Oh, I didn't know he was going to play. And maybe this will help spread the word around. Okay, let's start with some of your returning players. Who do you got?
So, the only player from Holtville, we got our all-leaguer right here, right? Team record 5 interceptions in 7 games. So he has to get 7 this year.
Yes, sir.
One per game. So we only have one player from Holtville, unfortunately. We
had 5. That's crazy.
That's pretty good, right?
Yeah, that's really good.
We had a great passing defense. I think we only allowed 1 touchdown, and that was at the end of the season with 12 players passing. All the other touchdowns throughout the league were on runs. I think we had 3 shutouts, right? Yeah. We had 3 shutouts. And we had 2 teams, and the only 18 points, 20 points that we gave up were on the run because we were worn out. We were tired, right?
Yeah.
So we had a great defense last year. Our defense should be even better this year.
Yeah.
We have to get at least 3 shutouts this year.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So we got only player from Holtville is Bejarano right here. He's been working his butt off trying to recruit guys, but just Holtville doesn't want a part of us right now. So once we win a little bit more, right, they'll come.
Yeah.
We have nobody from Central this year.
Nobody from Central.
Yeah, Carvajal couldn't make it this year, so
that's right. We had Carby.
So we have nobody from Central. I look forward to getting players from Central one day.
Yeah.
We have 1 player from Southwest. That's Eric Felix. Again, we need more people from Central, right? So then we have Imperial. We got Joey Ramos. We got Brandon Silva, CJ Ramos, Edgar Robles, Frankie Salcedo, and Mike Martinez. I think that's it, rounding off Imperial. And then from Big Bad Brawley, we got Blake Krigbaum, JJ Fernandez, JJ Gutierrez,
the Camacho brothers.
The Camacho brothers.
Oh, so they're brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I was wondering.
David Camacho, Abraham Camacho.
Okay. Those guys are studs, man.
Yeah, they are. They're very good.
They're studs, dude.
Very, very good.
Yeah.
Our hands are going to be in very good hands when Ramos leaves, right? David's going to be a good quarterback. And Jesse Martinez.
Yeah.
Jesse Martinez. And that's running off the team. And who else?
You got Chavez?
So Chavez didn't play at Brawley, but he's from Brawley.
Okay.
We got Chavez. And then From Calexico, we got Charlie Melgoza.
And they're from where? Where's Charlie from?
He's from Calexico.
Okay.
We got Chema Robles, Luis Mesa, Isaac Santiago, and I think that's it from Calexico, huh? 4 guys from Calexico this year.
Yeah.
I think so.
That's about it. That's pretty much the whole team right there.
Yeah.
Probably missing a couple guys here and there, but let's see, who am I missing?
They're gonna be mad that you missed them all.
Yeah.
How could you not name me, Coach?
You don't go to practice enough. I don't know your name. That's we got, Isaac Cervantes.
Yep.
He's in Arizona, but he should be making it.
Yeah.
Chavez. Oh, Ethan Marquez. Ethan Marquez played for me at Wabese, so I'm happy to have him. He's from Calexico.
Right on.
Eros Pradis. How could I miss Pradis? Pradis from Calexico.
Yeah.
So Pradis from Calexico. Hopefully his brother's going to be joining us after he's done at the high school.
And we even got a kid from Mexicali, right?
We have a kid from Mexicali. We got Alexis Tapia.
Mm-hmm.
He's joining us from Mexicali. So our manager, Coach Tapia, Oscar Tapia, his kid played down there at Cetis and played for him at his high school. Coach Tapia is the head coach for Cecite High School.
Oh, okay.
So he has his varsity and JV teams down there.
Yeah.
And
shout out to Coach Tapia.
Yeah. So we're trying to. So here's the plan. Here's my evil plan. I told Coach Tapia, from now on, any of his seniors that could at least play special teams for us, at least special teams, they're joining us. Yeah. Because I'd rather them join us than join somebody else over there.
Right.
So hopefully we might have 1 or 2 more guys from his team. And, I mean, their talent might not be as good as ours, but, I mean, it's a body that we could use, especially for special teams, give our guys breathers since we're going both ways.
Yeah.
And obviously we're going to have injuries, so the more the merrier, you know. Yeah. I'd like to have at least 30 guys a year.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if we could take, because their players are starters over there. So if we could get one of their players to not start for one of those teams down there, that's a win for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I got a question for your players right here. I'll start with Blake. Blake, what is your goal this year? Tell me what. How do you see yourself performing this year? And I want you to talk. I want you with confidence. I mean, I want to hear it. I want to know honestly. How do you think you're going to do this year, in your mind?
I think I'm going to play better than I did in high school.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm older, stronger, faster.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be a different breed.
Yeah. I kind of see that.
Yeah.
I kind of see that. Just by the glimpses that I've seen, I mean, I think I have a decent eye to spot something in a player, you know what I mean? I mean, I'm not... I've been around this for quite a while, just like Coach, and you always see a glimpse of something, a little spark in each person, and I think you have a little bit of that spark, that I've seen out there. Okay, and that's just for, we haven't even thrown the pads on yet, you know what I mean? But just from what I'm seeing,
I've been waiting.
I feel very confident about this team. And Daneil Bejarano, Tocayo, how do you see yourself performing this year?
I see myself performing better this year than last year for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be the #1 corner in the league for sure. That's all. I just really want to be the best corner in the league.
Yeah.
The best corner I could be for this team too.
Yeah.
I just want to lock down everybody. Like no one's getting anything.
Mm-hmm. And you had some really good defensive plays, man. I was impressed from what I saw out there. And not to mention some of the other guys that are on the team as well. Like you guys, like you said, I think you guys probably could have had the #1 defense in the league.
I mean, if it wasn't for those losses, we should have easily been the #1 defense. Just the stats alone are mind-boggling.
Yeah.
I don't think Lobos was the only team that rushed over 100 yards on us.
Yeah.
Everybody else didn't even get over 50 yards on us.
Yeah.
Danny didn't give up a touchdown until the last week of the season.
Mm-hmm.
He, I mean, not to knock on the teams down there, but regardless, it's not easy getting a shutout at any level.
Right.
It's not easy getting a shutout at the Pop Warner or high school level. I mean, like, how many shutouts do you think you guys had your senior or junior year?
I think we actually had a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only games that I can
I'll
think
tell you
of,
what, you played 10 games. Did you have 5 shutouts?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That was a stacked defense, right? That was a stacked-
We've been number one defense my 2 years of varsity. Yeah.
But well, not easy, right?
Not easy.
Not easy. Even against like the lower, like who was probably the bad team that year?
Like a bad team or like
Yeah, when you played your senior.
like a bad team? Or
Yeah.
Like,
Who was the last place team?
oh, in our league, my senior year, Southwest.
Southwest.
Mhm.
How hard was it to shut them out? Did you even shut them out?
Yeah. That was easy.
Well, he's not helping my point. But, you know, what I'm trying to say is that, you know, the fact that we only had 14, 16 guys,
I should have said.
and we shut out 3 of them,
Yeah.
and then 2 other teams, they only scored once on us. You know, that's we were mistakes away from having 5 shutouts in a 7-game season.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that says a lot about what we had and what we could do.
Mhm.
And this year, guys aren't going to have to go both ways. We're stacked at positions that we weren't last year.
Yeah.
You know, last year we were playing with guys that never played the position. Yes, we had an all-valley team, but you know, I had Joey at middle linebacker. He's not a middle linebacker. You know,
Right.
I had guys playing defensive ends that never played defensive ends, and they did the job. You know,
Yeah.
so this year we have players that played the position in high school. You know, we have an actual middle linebacker going to play middle linebacker. You know, we have an actual defensive end that's going to play defensive end.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see what we're going to be able to do. And like I tell the guys, you know, unfortunately, you know, we don't have a big coaching staff.
That's another struggle for you right now, right,
Yeah.
Coach?
Shout out to Coach Victor. Unfortunately, he got a job out in LA and he had to move.
Yeah.
And shout out to Coach Partida. He's going to join us, but he works steel union, so he's always in San Diego.
Yeah.
3 a.m., 4 a.m. to work. So he hasn't been able to make it to us, but he's going to be joining us. But you know, for us not having an actual staff or a big staff, it's hard developing these guys.
Yeah.
So I tell these guys, you know, unfortunately, we're not here to develop you right now. You guys come from good programs. You guys had great coaches in high school. Bring that to this team.
Yeah.
Bring that to this team. Follow the game plan. You know, it's I'm not asking them to do anything that they've never done before.
Yeah.
And just execute it. Our biggest thing here, my biggest, you know, preach is execute and take your practice seriously because, you know, we don't have a sled. We don't have tackling dummies. We don't have this. We don't have that. So we just got to work on game situations, keep it simple, but perfect it. And that's all we can do right now. Hopefully, like you said, when this grows and I have a coach for every position, then we could develop and we could focus on them. But for right now, our biggest thing is just, you know, focus on what you're being asked to do.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not asking them to do, you know, nothing that they've never done before.
Right.
And with that alone, I mean, I think we could do a lot of things. I tell them, here's all the films out. There's film of us and what we did right, what we did wrong. Like Blake said, you know, been watching it, seeing what I think I'm going to be able to do. That should be enough to motivate you to work hard on your own.
Yeah.
And get you ready for the season. We're 16, 15 weeks away. We're almost there. So
It comes pretty quick.
it's going to come quick. And
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Yeah, last year I remember it from our first meeting, the second and third meeting.
6 months.
It went so fast, and I was like, "Damn, we're already on this field." I remember we were certifying, you know, that day, and I thought that was pretty cool because we got to see all the other teams. You could tell everybody was sizing each other up.
Oh, yeah.
and it was
Especially-
fun. I mean,
We're
it
gonna
started
size up this year real good.
It started up right there at that certification. You know what I mean? That's you know, it was game time right there and then. You could feel it.
Yep.
You know, so I was like, all right, you know what, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be fun, you know, just to getting, you know, back on that field again. It's awesome.
I'm excited.
And so as far as coaches go, Coach, if somebody reaches out to help out, you know, are you open to, you know, bring them on?
I'm open to anybody that wants to come in here and help us get better.
Yeah.
You know, I demand a lot. You know, like I tell everybody and I tell our players, so this is a part-time job.
Yeah.
This is a part-time job. Treat it like a part-time job.
Yeah.
And your reward is playing something that not a lot of people get to play at this age anymore. But no, anybody's welcome. I don't even care if you have experience, as long as you know you want to help us out
Yeah.
and get better. You know, you're welcome to join the team.
Yeah.
Again, the difficult part is our scheduling. You know, we practice late nights. We practice 9 p.m. to 11, 11:30ish,
And that's only because of work schedules and stuff like that, right?
Again, we're an adult club college team, so we don't have the
bedtimes.
We don't have bedtimes, but not only that, we don't have the facilities. A lot of our kids work. Most of our kids work. So we have to practice late. So when they get off of work, I work. I don't get off till 7, 8 o'clock sometimes. So 9 o'clock's the best we can do.
So right now, who's ever listening, where are we practicing at, Coach?
So we're practicing at Estrada Park on 5th and Andrade in Calexico. That's probably another reason why nobody wants to play is because it's quite a drive.
Right.
But it's not that bad. It's 20 minutes right from anywhere in the valley, 30 minutes from Brawley.
Because at one point you were holding practices at Swarthout, right?
Yes, we started at Swarthout last year. Unfortunately, shout out to the city of El Centro for kicking us out. They wanted us to have insurance and they wanted us to be a nonprofit. But nonprofit took about 6 months to happen. And I started it 6 months before the season, but because of the pandemic, it took like an additional...
it got pushed back.
It got pushed back like 3-4 months. So the nonprofit, I started the nonprofit in November, right after the meeting when I thought this was going to happen.
Yeah.
I paid and I got that nonprofit going. They didn't approve it till October when we were already in our season. We started practicing Swarthout, off the clock, I guess you could say, or on the hush.
Yeah.
In May of last year. And it was just little 7-on-7 basic drills every Sunday. And then the lights went out there. There was an issue at Swarthout. So then we went to McGee. And in McGee, one of the soccer coaches complained about us and ratted us out.
Wow.
So we weren't able to practice there. So then I started, okay, let me just go ask, right? So then I went to go ask, and they're like, okay, yeah, that's fine. You could practice there in the mornings. So we started practice at 6 a.m. And then about 2 weeks later, they called me and they're like, hey, you know what? You can't practice until you're a nonprofit.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, if you're not a nonprofit, then it's $40 a practice. And I'm just like, it's a shame because, we're not doing anything that nobody's doing,
Right.
It's the park is there, we're not bothering anybody. We're just trying to give these kids something to do.
Exactly.
And for them to kick us out and not give us a chance to practice there. I mean, I get it. Liability-wise, somebody gets hurt. We're in a sue culture, right? Anything happens, we want to sue. So I get them from their standpoint that why they didn't want to let us there because the bad part is that we actually bought an insurance last year. Each kid paid about $35.
Yeah.
We got an insurance company from San Diego for liability, but we couldn't even with the insurance they still denied us because we weren't a nonprofit because they wanted that receipt so they could push it back or piggyback it on the IRS.
So on your end, you followed all the steps that you needed to, follow.
And the sad part was I even showed them, the nonprofit cost me about $370. I paid that out of my pocket. I showed them the receipt.
Yeah.
I showed them the website that, hey, so when you become a nonprofit, first you got to register with the Department of State. You got to register, name, information, what your nonprofit's called, what do you want to do, blah, 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 blah. I did all that. That took about 2 weeks. So once the Department of State approved me and said, hey, you're legit to be Imperial Valley Collegiate Football, I showed them that, and then I showed them the receipt that, hey, I submitted my paperwork for the nonprofit. I'm just waiting to get approved. Here's my insurance. They still said no.
Yeah.
So at that point, I said, okay, let's just go to Calexico because Calexico's a little bit more easier to get around.
Yeah.
And we were practicing Calexico at 6 a.m., under the shade of, darkness.
Yeah.
And we had a great woman by the name of Carmen Estrada. She's the soccer league president down there.
Okay.
And she saw us practicing one day, and she was kind of upset at first because we were kind of ruining the grass, because she watered it at night.
Yeah.
But once I told her what we were about, what we were trying to do, and that we had nowhere else to go, she was like, don't even worry about it. I'm going to put you under our soccer league umbrella. You're covered through us. Tell me what days you want to practice, and it's your field.
Awesome.
So thanks to Miss Estrada, we have a field in Calexico. We have a home.
And she works for the city of Calexico?
No, she's a volunteer, man.
Oh, she's a volunteer.
She's a volunteer. She organizes all the fundraisers for like half the parks in Calexico.
All right.
Yeah, she's big, and she even gave us the okay to put a shed on the soccer field so we could put our stuff away. But the shed's like $800. So if anybody want to donate, let us know. Anybody got an old shed they could give away, let us know.
And what was her name again?
Carmen Estrada.
Carmen Estrada. Yeah. Thank you, Carmen Estrada. The Centinelas really, really appreciate that. Absolutely. Yeah, that's awesome.
Are we supposed to be getting a field?
Huh?
Where are we supposed to be getting?
So off of Zapata, they built 3 brand new baseball fields with lights and everything, restrooms, the whole works.
Oh wow!
That's the one off of Bacher, like where CB Stop is in Calexico, where the fishing stuff is.
Yeah.
Right down the road, there's a huge park. I forget the name of that park, but anyway, they built 3 brand new badass baseball fields there, and next to that, there's a huge soccer field with fresh sod and everything.
Oh wow!
And she's asking us if we want to go there too, and I'm not. I don't know yet because it's a little bit more of a pain in the butt for everybody to get down there. Because the one we're at right now is kind of right off 111.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Whatever is best for us, and that might be a good option as well.
It might be. It might make it a little closer for some of the guys on the drive and stuff. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if the facility is nice and you got restrooms and all that stuff, because I know where we're at right now, there's no public restrooms or anything like that. So you got to hold it. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
one thing I do like about your quote, the one valley, one team.
I don't know where the hell I came up with that.
But you know what, man? It's true though. One valley, one team.
That was the plan. We got it on the back of our jerseys.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
It's inside our collars.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was always impressed with that. I admired that quote that you came up with because that's the way it should be. Yeah. Especially when we get together and we get all players from all different parts of the valley, all the cities, and they get together, and it's not about the schools anymore. It's about now the valley all together and representing the valley. So whenever I would get a chance, on my Facebook page, I would always put it out there. You know what? These guys, these are our Imperial Valley Centinelas. You know what I mean? I always made it a point to put it that way. To this way, people could kind of get that in their heads. Hey, they're representing the valley. They're representing us. Going to go play, across the border. And I'm hoping that this year, you get a lot more support. And like I said, my whole purpose in this was to, get some awareness out there and get you guys out there. And I want to thank Blake and I want to thank Danny to come in. And obviously you, Coach, because you don't have a kid on the team.
No, my son is 7 years old, so I don't know how much longer I'll be able to do this.
Yeah, you know what I mean? and I kind of admire that because, I do admire that because you do not have ties to any one of these kids as far as like having a motive. You did it because you like coaching. You want to start something here in the valley. And give these kids, these young men, an alternative, from, like I said, if for whatever reasons they can't go out of town to go to school and go play football, IVC does not have a football program. So you created something here in the valley for them that they can go to, and still continue doing something that they love doing. Because a lot of these guys, I mean, you got to have a passion to do what you guys are doing right now, and I'm meaning like you guys. Blake, Danny, that you guys are doing, something that you guys love. You guys had a passion for it ever since you guys were kids, and I could kind of see you guys itching to get back in that football field, especially him. I see him. He's kind of jittery.
He should have played last year. That's why.
And I know he wants to get
he has a guilty conscience. Because of him, we only had 12. We could have been 13.
Yeah, But I honestly am, and I'm not, I could be biased, but I'm not being biased. I do see you guys kind of, if anything, maybe end up with one loss. But I see you guys in the championship.
I hope so.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just being realistic because anything can happen. Anything can happen. I mean, there are some tough teams down there, but I don't see why we can't do it.
That's my biggest struggle with these guys is that trying to keep their feet grounded. Mm-hmm. Because even last year these guys thought they were going to run the table, right? Yeah. You guys thought you were going to win every single game. Yeah. And we got punched in the mouth. We had injuries, but even with 14 guys, we should have not lost, any games.
What was your record?
4-3. Yeah. So the first game, man, it was a disaster. We just mistakes, and we had a pick six that's killed us. Mm-hmm. We were winning. We were up that game until that pick six. So we should have won that game. We lost that by 6. Yeah. The second week we won. It was an easy win. Week 2 shutout in Ensenada. We lost in overtime.
Yeah.
Wide open hole, running back goes the wrong way. Yeah. That pretty much wins the game. it just, again, mistakes. And our biggest thing here, or my biggest thing with these kids and this generation, is that these guys like to question everything, and which is fine. It's in their nature. We're in a generation where show me, right? Everything we do, we see it first on our cell phone.
Yeah.
So it's hard, it's hard believing something without seeing it.
Yeah.
And I told them since last year, I was like, this is how it is over there. It's not that easy. Yes, we have great players. Yes, we have more talent because we're from the U.S. But on paper doesn't win games, right? It's at the end of the day, you still got to win. And look, we had 3 losses. Without excuses, we lost 3 games.
Right.
And we lost a playoff game to a team that we knew we were better than. I don't have the stats on me, but the Carneros beat us twice, and I don't think they had over 60 yards of total offense in any of the games.
Oh, wow.
We were in the red zone 4 or 5 times each game, but we couldn't punch it in. Why couldn't we punch it in? Mistakes.
Yeah.
Mistakes, mental errors. So my biggest thing now that we have more players and we have more talent is, how do I keep these guys grounded to do their job and not think we're going to win just because we're better already. We're not better already.
Right.
We still got to work.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest preach to them is, we still got to work. We still got to perfect our mistakes. We got to eliminate those interceptions, eliminate those fumbles, and eliminate those terrible blocks.
Yeah.
Because if not, I could have 30 guys from Brawley and 30 guys from Imperial, but if we fumble 4 times a game like we did last year, we ain't winning shit.
No.
So,
hell no.
Yeah, I do see ourselves, not losing a game. That's the goal, not to lose a single game. But it's that practice. It's that mentality to go into the work. Like you said earlier, they're adults now. I can't really yell at them and make them,
Yeah.
In high school, right after school, you go to practice. And you're still a kid, so you listen a lot more to your coach, right? Here, it's like we're all adults here, and they're paying for this. So it's hard to, really, really make them do something.
Yeah.
So it's a challenge. It's a struggle. But at the end of the day, like I said, if they focus on what's asked of them to do, they're going to be great. They're going to be really good. And yeah, man, sky's the limit, man. Like I said, I don't have a kid here. My son's 7. I don't know where he'll be in 10 years, if he'll even like football.
Right. But it happens.
But my goal is for this to grow. I want this to be a tradition. I want kids to want to play here after high school.
Yeah.
Obviously, I want them to play NCAA and D1, D2, NAIA. I want the kids that get their scholarships, but the kids that don't get their scholarship, I want them this to be their goal, to want to be here and play here, and this to become a Valley tradition. I want this team to be here for decades to come.
Yeah.
And eventually give this team off to somebody else, and I could just work on the side and be the manager and just order uniforms and design uniforms.
There you go.
That's the plan. But yeah, no, I this is my passion. It's like I tell the guys, I'm here for the same reasons they are. Not just because I love the game, but because I can't coach high school football.
Right.
My work hours don't allow me to. And then at this point in my career, I don't know if I could be a freshman coach anymore. I've been with older guys for so long now.
Yeah.
I don't see myself coaching young kids anymore because it's just a different ball game now.
Right.
But yeah, if I had a choice, I'd probably 10 years ago I would have loved to coach high school football.
Yeah.
And obviously maybe even college football, but I don't have that choice. So this is the next greatest thing I have is this team, and just like them, I cherish it and I want to take advantage of it. And I've been doing this for 20 years. I've never won a fucking championship, so I want one at any level. I've been coaching since my senior year of high school.
Wow.
My senior year in high school, I was coaching the junior midget team in El Monte.
Okay.
And I've been to 6 championships and never won one. So.
Well, maybe this will be the year, Coach.
I need one, man.
Yeah.
I need one.
Yeah, I know there was a game last year that, if anything, I remember, I think it was Joey that was telling me, there was one particular game that if any game they needed to win was this one particular game, and I think you know which one I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, man, against Halcones. Against my ex-players, man.
Yeah.
That was our rivalry week, man.
So I remember him saying something like that. I think it was him. He's like, well, if anything, we got to win this game, if anything. That was
a great game. We both had to win the game to stay in playoffs, and obviously there was bad blood because half the coaching staff, 2 of their coaches were my former assistants, and I think half of their starters were on the team at Wabese. So it was a big game. I was very happy to win that game, and it was a great game. It was 0-0 up until the final minute.
Yeah, I remember that was a good one, and And I actually thought,
They were
I know
big too.
yeah, they were huge, and I think I kind of looked at that. I was like, oh man, it's going to be tough. But man, these guys, they got it together, and they did it, man. They did it. You know, it was one of those things like, oh, we got to win this for our coach, and that told me right there when I heard that, I was like, all right, you know what? They respect you. They respect you, and I think that's one of the biggest things is, even though they're young men, they're young adults, that they still got that respect for you. You know what I mean? So I mean, I respect you. I commend you for what you've done, especially right now. You're almost like a one-man show. You know what I'm saying? At this point, I know the other coaches. One of them he's coming back. He's working and stuff. The other one, he bettered himself, and that's awesome too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But for you to hang in there like that, and that's good, man. That's real good. That makes these guys right here hold each other accountable. As young men, it's like, hey, you know what? We need to practice this. We need to do this. Coach is doing that over there, and they get it together. Come on, wake up, Blake. Wake up.
Man.
You know what I mean? But so, Coach, I want to get you guys out of here. We already been rolling for about, let's see, an hour and 20 minutes. Okay. Give me your contact number. Let the listeners know how they could contact you if they're interested in sponsorship. If they players who want to come and play. Obviously it's still not too late. You're still taking players.
Still taking coaches.
Still taking coaches. How can they get a hold of you, Coach?
So we're on Facebook and Instagram. It's Imperial Valley Centinelas Football.
Uh-huh.
And Instagram is Imperial Valley Centinelas.
Okay.
And so that's where you'll find us. And reach out.
Yeah.
Send a message if you're interested in helping out.
Yeah, and hopefully, if anybody could comment on this video, because I'm going to be uploading it tonight up to YouTube, and there's a comment section. Leave a comment there if you want to be contacted. I also got my Gmail also that I'm going to include on my YouTube page. And right now I'm like,
and lastly for the seniors, the class of 23. I mean, we could sure use it for all those seniors that they're graduating this week or graduated last week.
Right there.
If you're not
wait right there.
If you're not leaving out of town, you're staying in the valley. Come join us, man. Yeah. Even if you're 17, as long as you graduated, you're good to go.
Yeah. So I always want to have somebody as a guest. I want to give them a little something, as appreciation of coming on the show and everything. Yeah. Otherwise, I said it again. Getting on show. I want to get right. It's my second one. You know what I mean? But I feel very fortunate that you guys came on.
Thank you for having us.
And I wanted to help you guys out and do whatever I can to continue to support you guys, because I do believe in what you're doing and in this program. And I got Jaden over there, my junior assistant. What do you got right there, Jaden?
My shirts.
Your shirts?
Yeah.
What size is that one right there for a coach?
Medium.
No, that's not for a coach. Who's a medium? I know Bejarano's got to be a medium. Okay.
Nice.
All right. That's a EazyDpodcast t-shirts.
Yes, sir.
And you're our XL, right? All right. And you better make that fit, Coach, because that's the only size I got. and hey, maybe, there you go.
That's a 2.
Yo, no wonder when he looked at it, he was like, what the hell? But yeah, no, with that said, again, I appreciate you guys coming on. I think it's going to be an awesome season. And we got to do this again.
For sure.
As we're getting closer.
Weekly update.
Yeah, we got to give some updates on how practices are going, any new recruits.
The game update.
And game updates. No, for sure. Hey, let's do it. Let's get together. We can recap our games and stuff. And
you have the player of the games.
Player of the games.
Player of the games. Yeah,
that.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. I'm all for it, And I hope I can, and not hope, but I'm going to continue to keep doing this, because I want this podcast to grow, you know what I mean? And that was my whole purpose of doing it, of helping out, local athletes, local programs, local businesses, all that, because especially with athletes, and I'm not just talking football, I'm talking athletes in general, because dude, there's like so much talent here in the valley that people don't know about.
For sure.
Even in the Pee Wee leagues right now, in the youth leagues, dude, there's some kids coming up right now. Okay, I don't want to put his name out there yet, but I know when his dad sees this, he's gonna know exactly who I'm talking about.
Send him.
This kid, man, I'm telling you, I don't want to put his name out there yet. I will, because I think eventually I'm gonna have him on the show. This kid's a stud, man. This kid is.
He's probably gonna have an offer somewhere, so he won't be able to play with us.
He's an anomaly, dude. This kid, you know what I mean? He's very, very good, a very talented kid. I see him going far.
Nice.
Going far, and that's not to mention the other kids that are in this age group that's coming up right now. There's a lot of talent, man. There's a lot of talent. That group, if they stay together and whatever school they end up at, you know, it's you'll see, yeah. You know, it's going to be awesome to see, and I want to give them, you know, a platform, you know, so people can know who they are. So, you know, put them on the radar. Hopefully, I could put them on the radar, and whatever I can do to help to get, you know, some of these kids out of here. You know what I mean? And like I said, not just in football either, anything else.
Awesome,
you know, if you're a badass at checkers, well, shit, let's talk checkers, man. No, for real. You know what I mean? 'Cause,
Yeah,
I mean, that it's, you know, people got to come down here to see us. You know what I mean? And unless you leave here and go over that hill, people aren't going to see you, man.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of networking and a lot of phone calls. And, you know, now with social media, you know, we use that as another platform to help get kids out of here. You know, so again, that's my goal. You know, that's the reason I'm doing this. But again, Coach, I appreciate it, brother.
Thank you.
All right, Blake, my man Danny. All right, good to have you, and we're gonna go ahead and end this right now. Let me see. Let me get over here. I'm a one-man gang over here. All right, that's it. All right, and I